What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Dana, back up in this thing. About to do Smackdown review, notes in hand. So, alright, Smackdown starts off. Daniel Bryan comes out to some yes chants that, of course, WWE had to mark out a little bit, had to muffle that out a little bit, get some boos, throw some boos up in there. Oh, fuck it. They'll never notice. Well, hey. Um, So, anyways, he comes out and he's like, that match at WrestleMania against Sheamus, it shouldn't count at 18 seconds. It shouldn't go down in my. He's just an asshole, and that he's like plays that asshole role so great. But anyways, he's like, that shouldn't count towards my losses. It should count, if anything, it should count towards AJ's losses because she cost me the match. Great, that shit, yeah, that shit was funny. So yeah, and then he uh, shows the footage from Raw when he fucked Sheamus over, counted a 3 in like 1 second, but of course he shows it in slow motion. Really, it was like, but so yeah, that brings ADR out. Alberto Del Rios. That was good. I got that one. That was good. I got that. I should get a thumbs up just for that. Anyways, so ADR comes out and he kind of plays to the crowd with the whole C thing. He's asking questions and like Daniel Bryan was doing, except he's like saying C after and the crowd saying C. He already had the whole C thing going on in Miami. So as they figure, hey, let's throw Daniel Bryan and ADR in there and see what happens. And it probably would have been more interesting if it was live because I'm sure they kind of muffle some stuff out. But Big Slow comes out and he's like, I'm confused. Is it C or yes? C or yes? And it seemed like there were more people were saying C, maybe. I don't know. And Daniel Bryan and ADR somehow end up getting out of the ring, and Ricardo's left there. And Big Slow's like, no, I don't want to. I just want to know one thing. I want to know what you think. Is it C or yes? And Ricardo playing the old bitch coward. He's funny too. He makes me laugh, but he's like, kind of scared and shit. And he's like, no, whatever. And then Big Slow choke slam. That was a pretty good start off to SmackDown, I thought. So yeah, if you thought it was kind of confusing, why is the Big Slow coming out to this? He has a match up next against ADR. It's the first match of the night. Not really anything really big. I guess ADR, tried to weaken Big Slow's arm or whatever, but nothing really big happened in the match. At the end of the match, Cody Rhodes comes out and tries to, he interfered in the match, causing Big Slow the match and try to get the upper hand, but Big Slow comes in with the strap, whoosh, on Cody Rhodes, rips his shirt off, whoosh, on Cody Rhodes, whoosh, and Cody Rhodes runs out of the ring like a little punk. But yeah, I like Cody Rhodes though. So Big Slow was left in the ring looking mad and furious, like for the first time in a while. Because usually now he comes out and he's all smiling and giving kids hats and things. So then we go into a backstage segment with John Laurinaitis. That was a horrible New York accent. John Laurinaitis and Eve, and he's basically saying, you're my assistant or whatever the hell she is, and whatever you need or whatever you have an idea or something, just come to me and I'll okay it. Okay. whatever. And Eve has this idea that everybody should have name tags because for some reason she doesn't know everybody. Damien Sandow has his little right to censor type of, he's gonna save the world, he's gonna save everybody from the corruption of TV and media and all that. Okay. Nikki Bella and Alicia Fox in a match on TV. There's like probably a whole lot of other matches we could have seen here. Not a good match. It was rushed. It sucked. Yeah. The only good thing was that it didn't end in a roll up, I guess you could say. At least it did end in a finishing maneuver. I'm going to stop doing this. It's pretty much the same ending of any Bella match. They switched and yeah. Yeah. So then we come back and we got Teddy in a Teddy with a name tag that says, "Hi, my name's Teddy." So yeah, I guess that was pretty entertaining. Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. These are the black guys I was talking about in my other video. They had a backstage segment with Yoshitatsu. It was kind of like, I don't know, I was sitting there looking at it like, damn, that's racist. Like, if there was a white guy doing it to them, would we be okay with that? Like, I don't know. It was kind of racist, but I guess they're kind of cheesy to me. I don't know. Anyways, and then we get to the segment with John Laurinaitis again and Eve. This time with Teddy and the Teddy, and he says that Antonio Cesar has a match tonight, and that if he wins or if he is impressive to John Laurinaitis, he would hire him because Teddy didn't hire him. And Oksana, Teddy's ex-girl, well, we find out pretty much. Yeah, she's his ex-girl. Is all in cahoots with him. She's yeah. So then we get to the tag team match with what was it? Darren Young and Titus O'Neil versus Ezekiel Jackson and Yoshitatsu. Wasn't really a match. It was like a tag team squash match, and it was basically Darren Young and Titus O'Neil just beating the shit out of Yoshitatsu. So, I mean, Zeke didn't even get in. Like, they just beat the shit out of him. Then they had the clothesline off the top, which it was actually good to see a tag team doing tag team moves, especially old moves like that. You know, hadn't seen something like that in a while, so that was cool. But like I said, it wasn't really a match. Okay, so now we get to Randy Orton's segment, and he is really, really, really boring. Actually, it wasn't too bad. He wasn't talking too much. They actually showed a video package of him, and Michael Cole was doing the interview, so I guess it was alright. And Michael Cole pointed out that John Laurinaitis has made this rule that if anybody, any of the superstars, I'm gonna do superstars on that because fuck that fucking they're fucking wrestlers. Any wrestlers touches an announcer, then they would be suspended. So that comes into play later on in this segment. And Randy Orton, they ended up showing the whole video package of him and Kane's feud, which is, even watching that would not make me want to watch their match at Extreme Rules. It doesn't hype me up to watch their match. That I'm not impressed. So Cole asked him some questions and stuff. I don't even know this segment. I wouldn't really, yeah. Like I said, Randy Orton, he's very just boring sometimes. But Jinder Mahal, out of all people, decides he's gonna come out and I guess make a name for himself, and is speaking in Arabic, which I don't know what he's saying. And Randy Orton, that was one good thing. That was one funny thing. Randy Orton's look at Jinder Mahal. When Jinder Mahal was talking to him, he's kind of just looking at him like he was really confused. He didn't know what the hell. But after Jinder Mahal gets done with his whole Arabic speech, Randy Orton asks him, "Are you an announcer or whatever?" He's like, kind of looking at him like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "No, I just want to know, are you an announcer? Because it seems like I've heard that they're off limits." And RKO. On to the next one. On to the next one. Antonio Cesar versus some guy. Some random. No, that was the one with Tyson Kidd. My bad. That was the one with Tyson Kidd. Ryback went against some guy. And Oksana comes out and she should never announce again. John Laurinaitis, you get the fuck you for that. Never should she announce anything ever again. Never. Like, how does she get on talking, and Rosa, who can speak English and Spanish well and looks better, and she don't get to talk. But anyways, Oksana announces Antonio Cesar out, and Antonio pretty much squashes Tyson Kidd in like a minute or something like that. But Booker T did point out something, that gut wrench suplex. You don't really see that too much anymore. And then the power drive, the pancake, I think. I can't remember. That's how long it's been since I've seen it, like, for real. So I don't really know too much about Antonio Cesar. I know people know him from the Indies as another name, which I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, his debut was cool. It was, squash match, but yeah, stuff that we hadn't really seen for a while, so that was cool. But then Oksana, or actually Teddy Long, was out on commentary, and he couldn't say anything or do anything unless John Laurinaitis said it in his earpiece. So after the match, and John Laurinaitis tells Teddy to go up to the ring and hold Antonio Cesar's hand up, and he holds it up. He said, "I don't want to do that," but he goes out there and holds it up. And Oksana kisses Antonio Cesar right in front of Teddy. Like, that's a big fuck you. Like, man, women in the WWE are bitches. Damn. So after this, we get a promo with Brock Lesnar. I thought it was going to be the same freaking Brock Lesnar promo we've been seeing over and fucking over and fucking over and fucking over again. But it wasn't. It was a different promo. They were basically just putting all the things that happened since Brock Lesnar's gotten back together, and him and Cena's feud, hyping their feud up. So I guess, but it was still, some of the stuff was from that interview. So anyways, it was, yeah. I don't think there's anything more that the WWE can do to hype this up. Like, everybody wants to see it. Everybody, when Brock Lesnar came back, that match was sold. just about. So Cody Rhodes versus the Great Khali. Khali wins. Abraham Washington in a backstage segment with Primo and Epico. That was interesting that AW is offering his services. Primo and Epico have until Monday Night Raw, says Abraham Washington. This is AW. That's what I'm gonna call him. He's AW. Okay, that's too much. Yeah, they have till Monday Night Raw to decide if they want his services. And then as he's talking, Ryback goes by and AW's trying to get his services too, I guess. Give his services to him, whatever. Well, pause. Alright, Ryback has his squash match for the night. He comes out. I have to say, like, this is a mix of wrestlers here. You got the RVD tights, the Goldberg like gimmick. It's like, okay. But he comes out, squashes this guy that says, I'm going to be the first to beat him, and I want to get out of this town, and anyways, blah, blah, blah. Comes out, squashes him. The Usos were watching him backstage this time, and yeah, it was just a squash match. And AJ is getting interviewed by Matt Striker. Like, really, why are you interviewing this woman? So I just want to know, how do you feel after what happened to you last week? And she doesn't say anything. And then he's like, well, what do you think is going to happen in Daniel Bryan's 2 out of 3 falls match? Like, what? Who? Why would she care now? So she doesn't say anything. And then her friend, I don't even know, one of the divas comes up and is like, what is wrong with you? Can't you see she's hurt now? She doesn't need this. She doesn't need this right now. So Matt Striker's like, I'm sorry, you're right, I know, and he's gone. And then AJ like about goes psycho on this girl. This girl was like, you know, you don't need Daniel Bryan. He's nothing. He was using you. He wished you would die. He wants to, whatever, you know, saying all that. And AJ just snapped. And that's supposed to be her dog, her homie, her roadie, her bitch, you know. And then AJ kind of backs up like, oh fuck, and yeah. So it's more interesting than what was going on with Eve and Zack Ryder. Not bad, and it's going on Smackdown. Too bad not a lot of people are seeing it, but Mark Henry versus Sheamus, the main event, the big main event. It was a decent match, not like anything real exciting. I mean, it's Mark Henry and Sheamus, but Mark Henry had a spot where he threw Sheamus out of the ring and then threw him into the guardrail on the outside. That was pretty funny to me. I do kind of, I've hated on Mark Henry in the past, whatever, but he's kind of picked up the intensity. It's pretty cool, you know. His character is pretty cool. Sheamus won the match. Obviously, he's going to win the match, make him look strong going into Extreme Rules, and he's probably going to win at Extreme Rules. So, you know, we got the bro kick, get the win. D-Bry comes out, Daniel Bryan comes out, and he's just standing there, you know, clapping for his win. And Sheamus picks up the mic, and he's like, am I going to win at Extreme Rules? And now he says, the question is, am I going to win at Extreme Rules? And everybody's like, yes, 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 yes. And that pretty much ended SmackDown. Not anything extremely extremely exciting. But Smackdown is turning into like, I mean, everybody knows it's the B show, but it's turning into like the show that is like for the rookies and stuff, you know, just to get them over, and then they move to Raw, you know. It's kind of like the D League for the NBA, you know. So, I mean, but they're not saying that they're not good or anything. It's just not the same as what it used to be back in the day. You know, back in the day, SmackDown was right up there with Raw. You know, they would continue storylines from Raw to SmackDown and then into a pay-per-view. So that was a benefit for them. But, oh well. So yeah, that's it. Now, I'll holler at y'all later on. Peace.